It's the Andrew Christopher Show. With Andrew Christopher, your host. It's the Andrew Christopher Show. But really we call it the AC Show. Yeah, we really call it the AC Show. Really call it the AC Show. It's the AC Show.
It's the AC Show with AC, your host. Check it out.
Welcome to a
another
brand new another episode of
The AC Show.
That's right,
It's a crossover!
crossover episode.
Crossover Wednesday. Our first one. So it is between sets. It is also going to be the AC Show.
Yeah, 2 for 1
Yeah,
for us, not
kind
you.
of. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah,
It's probably not going to change much for us actually, but
I'm not used to being on camera.
I know you're on camera now, so you got to watch your hand expressions and stuff, so you don't offend anybody.
Yeah, we got to keep our clothes on and everything.
And now people can see, if our Between Sets listeners want to go watch this one on YouTube, they can, and they can see how close we do look to that Bitmoji thing that we post all the time.
It's uncanny.
Yeah. So how you doing, man? Nice to see you.
Good. I'm still reeling from our last podcast. It went so well.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
So we decided to do this crossover, which that's what it's called, right? Because like sometimes I was thinking like the Simpsons and Family Guy, they do like crossover episode and try and combine the characters or whatever.
Totally. Or I'm thinking like Family Matters and Step by Step, or like something like that. Old school.
Oh yeah.
Full House and Step by Step.
Yeah. So they do it all the time on TV. So I thought we'd do it because I've been wanting you to have you on the AC Show as a guest to do like a full interview and everything. Obviously we do Between Sets together all the time anyways, but I wanted to go a bit more in depth. So we probably won't get that crazy on this one. We'll still be a pretty quick.
I want to come to the studio and do a real one.
But for my viewers, the AC Show viewers, a bit of a different change of scenery. We're in the car where we film Between Sets every week. So if there's any AC Show listeners or viewers that don't subscribe to Between Sets, you guys need to do that. And
any AC Show, any Between Sets listeners that don't watch Andrew's show, you want to go check that out.
Go to the YouTube and you can see us talking about this right now.
Do you mostly push the YouTube for yours?
I do, yeah.
That's the cool part.
Because I'm on that road. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers.
What are you at now?
340.
How much have you grown since you started?
Since I started the podcast, it's almost 200 subscribers.
That's pretty good.
So that's in 3 months. So it's kind of on pace for where I hit the 1 year mark, and I'm hopefully at 1,000 subscribers by then. And if not, I'm just gonna cut it off.
Really?
Say fuck it.
Well, yeah. That's one way.
Like I had, and this is something I had been thinking about, and I thought an interesting topic of conversation could be about, how I'm sure you'll relate, where you run into these blocks and these projects you want to do, and then you get just kind of discouraged, and you wonder why you're doing it and if it's gonna ever amount to anything. And you start getting a bit depressed or whatever, and go to the liquor store, buy a case of beer, do a bunch of drugs, and
move back in with your parents.
It hasn't got that extreme yet.
What were you talking about?
I don't know, some shit about not listening. Wasn't paying attention.
So have you ever told your listeners your intentions with the AC Show?
I think I've always kind of just said I was interested in radio and this kind of thing, and I wanted to build up an audience and just kind of try it out as kind of a contingency plan if I can't sing forever. Maybe I dial back the gigs a little bit and then make a bit of income on this and doing interviews with interesting people, and just another form of entertainment, and that's kind of been my intentions. I think I kind of briefly described it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's your strategy to get to 1,000?
I think it's just going to be
the guest appearances.
Yeah, there's going to be a few episodes, and again, similar to a lot of projects that you do. Some stuff that goes really well, some stuff that doesn't do well. some stuff you think is going to do really well and it doesn't do well, and some stuff you're like, oh, that's not good, but it does really well and helps you get more subscribers. So it'll be, I think, different collaborations like this, crossover episodes maybe.
Maybe not the last of these.
Yeah. So finding interesting guests, or people with good social media followings that will hop on and just click subscribe, because it doesn't do anything. Click subscribe. It doesn't give you a bunch of emails or anything unless you tell it to.
No.
It doesn't cost you anything. So it's pretty easy. Same for the Between Sets, right?
Yeah.
Just go hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, even if you don't listen to it.
Yeah, we still get and we don't promote it very heavily. You get 100 listeners an episode.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, that is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Another thing I should bring up before we get into the...
You're quitting.
Yeah. No, I told you I was stopping drinking energy drinks.
Yeah.
But I've done pretty good. Because that was 4 weeks ago, right?
Uh-huh.
That was quite a while ago. And today it was just a particularly weird, hard day kind of mentally. And I was just like, frick, I need something. Didn't want to drink tonight. Didn't drink last night. So I'm like, on my 2 days off a week kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I need something. So I got a Rockstar. Sorry to disappoint you, but...
I feel like that's an okay advice to have.
Right? It's a bit better.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, it's like a comfort food kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas sometimes my comfort food would be having a beer or two, but I was like, no, I don't want to do that tonight. I'll have a Rockstar instead.
So you feel those? Does that give you a buzz, or you just like the taste at this point?
I felt this one more, but it was just that I liked the taste.
Gotcha.
Because when I was drinking them a few times a week, then it wasn't really having the same effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first one, second one in 4 weeks. So that's not bad.
That's pretty good. That's
because it was 2 or 3 a week that I was doing.
I used to open the car door to get in here to do Between Sets, and it would just overflow with Rockstar cans.
Yeah. So what I was saying about getting discouraged with all these, your projects or whatever, and hitting the wall. Do you have any ways that you kind of fight through it? Do you fight through it, or do you just do kind of something shitty for a little while and then you find your motivation again and get back to it?
Yeah, I'm only smiling because this has been so
I knew this was something we kind of had in common.
I run through this in my head way too often when I'm driving back. So I have a day job now. I did full-time music right after university for better part of 3 years. Year one, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I ended up, Danielle started doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
I was flying to Toronto and playing cool gigs I'd never played before. Out of the blue, Kieran phones me, who I hadn't played with since we opened for Carly Rae. He's got this big tour coming up in the new year. Do that arena tour. The following summer was crazy. You had festival spots. Danielle had festival spots. Karen Lee Batten was calling me up all the time. Sheldon had studio work for me. I was bonkers. And then I hooked up with Me and May, and I went down to LA and played there. And then I came home, and it was crash.
Yeah.
I sort of got burnt out. It's so much work to learn band songs. And pretty much since then, I put out my own music. Yep. I learned guitar. I put out some acoustic songs by myself. And then the last 18 months have been that wall. I haven't really known where to go, what to do.
Really? It's been that long?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big size wall?
Yeah, the only thing I could get done in almost a year, I did gigs with you, and I got Bora out.
Yeah.
That was progress just slowed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Bora was a win because I actually produced that all pretty, I knew the sounds I wanted to hear. It was a step forward for me to be I want to hear that slide guitar. And
yeah.
So that got me through a little bit, but since that pushed me through till about September. And so I'd say it's been mostly the last 7 or 8 months that have been hard.
Yeah, that's
my recap.
Oh.
So
gonna have to fire up the car here. Sorry, listen to this baby purr.
And so
get some lights going here for you guys.
Speaking of walls, the hardest part's been the last 6 or 7 months. Getting back used to doing a normal day job and stuff has been tricky because I've always had such high ambitions with music, and I've seen glimpses of what I thought was progress. And so the only way I've fought through that wall is I keep irons in the fire, man. Every single day I practice something to do with drums, and I work on my singing and guitar playing, even if it's 15 minutes. And then I actually believe that's been enough to just slowly keep one hand on throughout this period, and I'm starting to feel mentally a lot better.
So it's kind of there's this one kind of big wall that you're kind of stuck at.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still making little bits of progress over the smaller obstacles and finding your way. Because I think that's kind of more what I was feeling, is it was kind of like a little hiccup.
Yeah,
In the grand scheme of things, sure, things are fine. My family's all healthy and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, this podcast had a little hiccup or whatever, and I was super discouraged, and I was like, what am I going to do? Why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, today we threw this together. It's gonna go well. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that'll kind of get me over that, because I kind of pushed through and at least succeeded getting this episode done.
Yeah, I think
so there's the small victories.
Yeah.
And for yourself, there's just this one big victory you're looking for still.
Yeah, and I think that the solution is the same, and I've just
have a family.
Exactly. Have a third child.
Yeah.
No, I think just it's about little things every day. Like you said, you're gonna do this for a year.
Yeah.
You have to know that it's easy to say that on a good day, but on a bad day, you have to know, like, I don't want to fucking do this podcast.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't have a guest, and I don't know what to talk about, and I don't know this. And every time you push through that and do it anyway, that'll give you a little bit of momentum going into more. And it's the same with me. Like, I don't feel like, I'm not inspired to play the drums or try and write a song. Then just spend 15 minutes. And sometimes those are just the little wins add up, I find.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. But it is, you just got to keep pushing through.
Yeah.
And make something happen. And
yeah. I mean, I watched this thing on Burnout the other day, because I watched this one YouTube vlogger. He's like probably one of the most successful ever, Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
And I watched him since before he vlogged.
Right.
And he like totally burnt out. And he kind of defined burnout as when you have to work equally hard at something over a long period of time, but you get diminishing results. And it's like, it's easy. Like, if you were getting hundreds of subscribers every time you put up a podcast, you'd be like, keep them coming.
Yeah.
But as that number got lower and lower and lower, and you're still putting in all the work, you'd be like, why am I fucking doing this?
Exactly. And it's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
If one of the videos doesn't get as many views as the last one, I'm like, I'm wasting my time. What am I doing? I could be hanging out with my kids or whatever right now. And I mean, so it's definitely not just for fun, because I do put in a fair amount of effort editing and whatever, and so it takes away from a little bit of family time every time I do one. And so I do have a goal that I want it to start, making a bit of money eventually and create a bit of a following to help grow my brand, so that then I can have even more of that family time and not be out every night doing gigs or whatever. So it's a tough game.
I think that's where those sayings come from, where you should like not attach yourself to the results. It's because if you attach yourself to the results right now, you're going to get super discouraged. Yeah. Whereas if you just say, I'm doing it for a year, I don't care if anyone listens, and people will listen.
Yeah. Some.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, it's going to be so random, you're not going to be able to predict it anyway. I mean, you have Jamie on there. It's like a hit episode.
Yeah.
You have...
I know, I got to keep doing that.
You have people with their own fans, and it doesn't go as well. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Hey, look at the characters riding the bus, eh?
I know. I love parking here. Yeah. Because you get to see everyone getting on and off the bus.
Yeah.
Coming from work or coming from the gym.
Did you just buy something from him?
I think they're swapping clothes. Let's get this on camera just in case. Can you guys see that?
Please don't look over here. Please don't look over here. Oh, wait, they were in the Miller. Or did they just get off the bus?
I guess she's just getting warm. It's not that interesting. Okay, back to the real deal here.
That was really creepy of us.
Yeah, but it could have been a theft or something.
We like to sit in the car and peep at people.
Yeah, we're people peepers.
So here's the awkward thing. This is a long between sets, but a short AC show.
It is a little bit, yeah. And that's what I was wondering, because I put out a couple shorter episodes of the AC show, and they didn't get anywhere near as many views as the longer episodes. So I'm confused. I'm like, what? Like, are people that interested, or I don't know.
Interesting.
I think it is obviously the content and the guests, mostly the clickbait you got to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this will be cool. And then when I want to have you on my show in my studio, right? And I want to do one of them so you can play some of that music, and where we could show off a couple of them or whatever.
I'd love to go through my tunes.
Because I'm doing a few of them, like the artist showcase series kind of thing. So it could be fun, and then go a bit more in depth, like your musical background and how you grew up.
It was cool, AC show listeners. We've been doing music together pretty steadily, but the last like 6-9 months or so, I barely hung out with you.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right. Yeah, I thought you were maybe avoiding me.
No, I've been
You're like,
avoiding
oh, that
everybody.
guy drinks too much every time I go hang out with
No,
him. He's
like I
pushing
said, it's
beers
been
on
like
me.
since I got Bora Bora out, and then I
Yeah,
just didn't know
yeah.
where to turn next. That's when like the last 9 months I was like, I'm just gonna lay low. I didn't, you know what I mean? I just sort of needed
Yeah.
time. But I finally stayed over at his new house. I hadn't even seen his new house.
Yeah.
Got to see the kids, get up and hang out with the kids and grandma in the morning and have
Haven
breakfast.
Haven was always asking
That
about
was
you too.
so nice. And then I
Yeah.
watched the AC show and I could see the little bed I slept on in the corner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was stoked.
In my studio. So that'll be there for you again when you
Yes.
when you come record.
So I stayed over at his place after the final Milltown.
Yes.
We didn't go. Since we've been playing at Milltown, we said we're gonna come here one night and tear shit up.
Just get frickin' pickled.
And we've never done it.
No.
And then this night we were like kind of half-assed trying to get something going, but Jamie's pretty in that pregnant zone where
Yeah,
anything
she's
could
on
happen.
home care and
Yeah,
they
and
wanted to
so
take it easy. So I was on call.
We had to be good, but we had that guys buying us drinks, so I had a couple drinks, and then
Yeah.
I just got a ride with Andrew.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was awesome.
Do you think it's weird that I'm wearing my seatbelt? Or it's like I started the car, so I should have it on?
Well, this is like
I just noticed a
you
couple
swung
minutes
hard
ago.
the other way from shotgunning beers in the driver's seat to now wearing your seatbelt in a
Where-
parked
yeah.
car.
Oh, we should have shotgunned a beer.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Guess there's no more Canucks right now.
Yeah.
Crazy thing, man. And that was one of the reasons why today was so tough for me is Jason Botchford, who's Vancouver Canucks and a TSN reporter. He died, I guess it was on the weekend a few days ago, and pretty young, 48 years old, and he had 3 kids at home, and so that's why it kind of hit me. I'm like, frick, what is with this? People dying and then kids having to grow up without a dad, and this wife and mom having to raise this family without her partner. So that hit me pretty hard. Some of that stuff's been hitting me harder and harder, and so I just get...
Mortality.
Yeah, I guess, and it's freaking tough. And I didn't know you knew him so much, but you read a lot of his stuff?
Yeah, all through high school, Province newspaper was
Yeah.
at my house, and I always read Jason Botchford articles.
Yeah, that's right. And then he started these... and I guess he was the king of, crossing over actual writing and social media stuff and Twitter.
He had like 50,000 Twitter followers or something.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Yeah, and the Athletes and the Provies, these spin-offs of the Province and this other big, the Athletic, big sports paper. I think it's an online one, the Athletic.
Yeah.
And so he did all this. But yeah, so that one hit me pretty hard. And crazy. Condolences to his family.
Yeah.
So it's going to be freaking tough. And so all day on Team 1040, they were just doing tributes and talking about him.
I always find it tough when it's almost inexplicable. Like, that's the second time I've heard of a guy, late 40s, dying of heart failure. The other was the guy from...
Yes. I know who you're talking about. Can't think of it, though. I'll look
Walk
it up.
Off the Earth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The beard guy.
I was on tour with them, and then all of a sudden you just heard a few months ago, right before Christmas,
Yeah.
that the beard guy passed away.
Yeah.
And same thing, there was no... I don't know, it's weird because you hear things like that and it shakes you up, and then when there's like a clear reason, you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's terrible. But when it's sort of inexplicable, you're like, that could be
I know,
anyone,
right?
yeah.
It's freaking scary.
Yeah.
But so you went on tour with Walk Off the Earth? That'd be good. Got some good stories from that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe not the genre of stories you'd expect, but definitely some stories.
Yeah, there's some stories.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be we'll cover that because I guess we're kind of wrapping up.
Yeah,
How long have
we
we
should
been
get
out
in
here?
there
Yeah,
because I want to eat a pizza on the next break.
that's right. And I'm gonna have a burger, our favorites.
Yeah, so long between sets, short AC show.
Subscribe
nice to
to
be
both.
on camera.
Thanks for having me on your show, and
Thanks for wait, what?
this is so crazy.
Tune in next week to another
Episode
of
is between the AC show sets.
It's the Andrew Christopher
That makes sense.
Show.
Okay.
But really we call it the AC show. Yeah, we really call it the AC show. Really call it the AC show. It's the AC show.
It's the AC show with AC, your host. Check it out.